Welcome to the Gene Clarity Podcast, a space to explore our clarity journey from survival to authenticity. I'm Sajine, and here we dive into the raw truths of breaking free from the expectations we've grown up with, rediscovering our voices, and thriving after life challenges. But this isn't just about my story, it's about life, from relationships and self-discovery to the messy, beautiful questions we all face. No topic is off limits here. So if you're ready to embrace courage, healing, and living life on your own terms, you're in the right place. Let's connect. Let's grow. Welcome to the journey. Welcome. I am so happy to have you guys here today. Before we get started, a quick disclaimer. The podcast is for informational and inspirational purposes only. I'm not a licensed therapist, counselor, or medical professional, and the content shared here is based on personal experiences and insights. If you're facing significant challenges, please seek the support of a qualified professional. Remember, your journey is unique, and you deserve the care and guidance that is right for you. I'm so happy again to be here with you. It always brings me joy when I can bring you a lot of clarity. This is the year that we're going to keep pushing forward. I mean, it's beautiful, the things that we go through. And sometimes I'm like, this is not fun, But one thing I do know is that it's something that's great. So today I'm talking about diamonds that don't apologize for their process. Today I want to talk about something that came to me while I was walking. And honestly, some of my clearest moments happen when I'm just moving and thinking and recording on my voice memos to myself. It is the best thing, especially when I'm walking around the lake. It's something that, I don't know. I see the fauna out there, the plants, people, the water out there. It's gorgeous. And this is what comes to my mind. I realized we are a lot like diamonds. And when I say that, I don't mean in a cliche way. I mean the real process of a diamond. Pressure, darkness, time, and refinement. Because when a diamond is first found, it doesn't look like what we see in jewelry stores. It's rough. It's hidden. It doesn't even look valuable to most people. And I started thinking, how many of us walk around believing we're unfinished or not enough just because we're still in the rough stage? I don't know. It's taken me this long to even comprehend that. And when it came to my mind, I was thinking, oh my goodness, here I am trying to be like others when I'm my own unique diamond, and at the same time at a rough stage. It's not easy, but I'll make it, right? This episode is for the person who feels like their life has been heavy, confusing, maybe even painful, and wonder if all that pressure means something is wrong. What if it means something is forming? I'm a true believer now. I didn't believe it back then. I thought, you know what, this is all mumbo jumbo. You're talking to me about all this stuff. All I want you guys to do is to make me feel better. That's all I wanted. Yeah, I could have felt better. But was I growing? Was it becoming something better? No, it would have been the same thing. It's just like putting a patch on you and hoping, or tape, and hoping that you will keep going instead of becoming something amazing. And then it came from this in my mind: diamonds versus plastic beads. The cost of fitting in. It's easy to live like plastic beads, and I'll tell you why. Plastic beads are everywhere. They're easy to make, they're identical. They don't require much shaping, and honestly, they're accepted quickly because they all look the same. And if I'm being real, society rewards sameness sometimes. Growing up, we all wore the same things, followed the same trends, tried to fit into what everyone else thought was acceptable, and we learned early that blending in felt safer than standing out. It is so true. I now think of it because after my whole ordeal of my toxic marriage and divorce and all the horrible things that go through, I didn't think I was going to make it. And now that I've finally stepped out of that fog, I think, oh my goodness, how many times did I quiet myself to fit in to what society wanted me to fit in, And at the same time, I lost myself. And no wonder I felt like something was missing the whole time in my life. What was missing was my unique self. And I know you guys have grown up where if you didn't fit in, you didn't speak a certain way, you didn't eat the certain foods, or did what others did, you were an outcast. They called you a nerd, or all the many other horrible names that I won't name here that children now get called. And I don't think that's okay, and even adults. But here's the truth. Fitting in often costs you your identity. It cost me too much. To the point that now when I have my identity, it scares me because I'm like, who's this? But I'm just me. I'm growing up. I'm having fun learning what I like and don't like instead of being the sameness as everybody wants. The same wife that has to cook, clean, take care of kids, clean the yard, take care of the husband, take care of everything. I'm not saying it's wrong to be married or to be a housewife because I honor anybody who wants it, as long as their spouse respects them and gives them the assistance that they all also need. But I can tell you that one for fitting in cost me a lot. And not only my identity, it cost me friends, family, money, you name it. The most one that it cost me was my safety, my self-respect. When you keep sanding off your uniqueness so people will like you, you might gain approval, but you slowly lose yourself. A diamond doesn't apologize for being different. It doesn't shrink itself to look like everything around it. And I want you guys to ask yourselves gently today, where am I choosing comfort over authenticity? Then comes the refinement stage, why growth feels hard. Here's the part people don't talk about enough. Even after a diamond is discovered, it still goes through the cutting and polishing. And that hurts. And it's hard. Because refinement doesn't feel good while it's happening. Sometimes refinement looks like losing things you thought would last forever. Sometimes it looks like ending relationships that no longer align. Sometimes it looks like sitting with uncomfortable truths about yourself and your past. I had to learn this myself. There were things I thought were normal, dynamics I accepted because I believed that was just how life was. And it wasn't until I started doing the inner work that I realized healing doesn't just comfort you, it reveals things. And when your eyes open, you can't go back to not seeing. If you're in this phase right now, where everything feels like it's shifting, I want you to hear me clearly. You're not falling apart. You're being refined. Being refined has been one of the most painful processes for me. I'm a Christian, and I prayed, God, help me. Help me to see the truths. Help me to become better, become a leader, and help me to be the person you want me to be. Give me the strength I need, leadership skills, everything. And boy, he did it. He told me I couldn't be all of that with the person who was supposedly married me for love, but it was just mainly manipulation and extortion and for pure control of a human soul. It was hard. There was days I cried a lot, days I slept a lot, days I just went through the motions. Then came the times of anger and rebellion. The times of crying again, trying to find my ways. And I decided I can either continue sulking there, or I can move away from it and start growing. And let me tell you, it is not easy to go through that. You go through so much up and downs, thrown around and back and forth. But I can tell you, once you start getting out, little by little, the amazing truths you find. You find all the lies that they were told to you. And now you start setting yourself apart just like a diamond. You start going through the refinement process. And you start taking away all the lies, the pains, the bad, mannerisms, anything that ruins who you are. And you start getting better. I, as a Christian, have always been told there's a wide road versus a narrow road. I believe we all have choices in how we live our lives. There's the wide road, the one where everyone goes, the one where you follow the crowd, avoid discomfort, and try to keep everyone happy, the one where the party's at, everybody's happy, screaming. And then there's the narrow road. The narrow road isn't popular, it's quieter, sometimes lonelier, but it's honest. There was times I feared, am I going the right way? Am I going the wrong way? And I had to keep praying and saying, oh my goodness, this is the right way. But you lose so many people that you thought they were your friends. You lose neighbors who thought you had good relations with. You lose family members. You lose everything. And now it's just you and God or whoever you believe in. And it's time to work. For me, my walk with God teaches me that free will means we get to choose. Not what's easiest, but what aligns with who we really are. I think the narrow road is where diamonds are formed. Choosing integrity when no one is watching. Choosing healing when denial feels easier. Choosing growth even when people misunderstand you. The road may feel smaller, but it leads to peace. There's many times when people think, oh, now she's not that nice person anymore. No, I'm just no longer being manipulated anymore. I actually have boundaries now. And the fact that you've removed yourself from my walk, it's okay. Yeah, we get angry. We get sad. And we think we did something wrong, but we didn't do anything wrong. All we did is we stopped giving people access to our lives. So, breaking out of normalized dysfunction. I want to share something vulnerable here. When people used to say things like, maybe you're just used to dysfunction, I got defensive. I felt judged. But after doing the work, real inner work, I realized something deeper. It wasn't that I wanted dysfunction. It's that I thought it was normal. When something is normalized long enough in relationships, society, culture, you stop questioning it. Because why? You're now that plastic bead or going through the wide road. You don't see that dysfunction because everybody's walking with you. And you figure if everybody's doing it, you're fine. And I want to say this gently, especially to anyone listening who has walked through painful relationships. Leaving something that hurt you does not mean you failed. Let me say that again. Leaving something that hurts you doesn't mean you failed. Sometimes it means you finally chose yourself, and that's not selfish. That's awakening. People will always have opinions about your journey. Have you noticed that when you want help or some type of mentorship, no one has time? But when somebody has opinions, you get more opinions than those plastic beads, right? You get tons of it. Some people will misunderstand your growth. Some people only knew the version of you that stayed small. But real value doesn't rush to prove it. A diamond doesn't scream to be noticed. It just shines when the light hits it. And that's what I want for you. Not perfection, not approval, but alignment. If you're doing the work right now, the quiet, unseen, uncomfortable work, I want to tell you something. Keep going. Because patience and endurance reveal what was always there. You were valuable before the process, you're valuable during the process, and you will still be valuable when you shine. My favorite part is I love to bring you 5 general homework prompts. It's something important because you need it. Number 1, where in my life am I acting like a plastic bead to fit in? 2, what hardship might actually be refining me instead of punishing me? 3, what patterns did I assume were normal that I'm now questioning? 4, what part of myself am I afraid to fully show? 5, what does my narrow road look like right now? Take that time. Start doing the inner work, whether it is by yourself with a trauma-informed therapist that you trust, that you've interviewed, family member, or anyone who will actually be there to protect you. Not someone who's going to use that against you, because then it just becomes more difficult. But I do support and I do believe there's people out there that will help you. So let's start thinking, hey, I'm valuable. Yeah, we don't need to be carbon copies of everyone or clones. We don't need to be somebody who forgets our worth. And you won't find that worth sometimes until you actually leave. I saw it after the fact that I had left. And now I feel like if I could go back to that person who was in pain, I could go back and actually say, keep going. Trust me. I'm on the other side. I'm doing well. And now when I was walking, I said, well, maybe there's a future person who's trying to tell me this, It's just my way of thinking. I'm not saying that's what it is, but it's a way to help me understand that every level, every stage, every chapter of my life, I'm going to be okay. Why? God's with me. He's trying to help me understand so many things. And when I thought I could never think anything positive, it came. So keep going. Now, our beautiful our little guided meditation. I love this part because I believe it helps us. Let's sit down. You can lay down. You can stand. Whatever pose you want to do, let's do this together. Close your eyes. Slow breath in. Slow breath out. Imagine yourself holding a rough diamond in your hands. Not polished yet, but yet still worthy. Pressure without shame. Feel the weight of my past experiences. Not as punishment, but as shaping. Now let's repeat this. Pressure did not break me. It formed me. Pressure did not break me. It formed me. Picture light slowly touching the sides of the stone. Each breath reveals another side. You are becoming clearer, not different, just more revealed. See a road that feels calm and true. That narrow path. You walk it because it honors your soul. Not because others approve. Place the diamond at your heart. Repeat with me. I do not rush my becoming. I am valuable now. And I'm still growing. Take one final deep breath and gently return. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode on Sajin Clarity Podcast. I hope it gave you something to think about, feel, or explore on your own journey. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Feel free to share it with someone who might need it or reach out to connect. Until next time.